Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different revelations, twists, and turns, as well as surprises in this film that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a film that's going to unveil many different revelations that will change how we view the past 8 Star Wars films that come before this one, and that the sequel trilogy characters such as Rey and Kylo Ren will be used in completely different ways than ever before, like how they were used in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that JJ has a plan in place to make this movie a very emotional and dark Star Wars film, with, of course, new Star Wars lore in the mix that surrounds the Jedi, the Sith, and of course, the Force in general. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be inside of a strange tower, constructing the Skywalker saber back into one piece, with some new parts that she gathered on the world of Batuu. However, it's explained that Rey is said to use parts of an abandoned, inactive lightsaber that once belonged to her father that dates back to the Old Republic era, that is said to be embedded now within the Skywalker saber itself. It's explained that in between the events of Episodes 8 and 9, Rey had traveled to her father's home/hideout to discover that he too owned a lightsaber itself. Perhaps not one that he fought with, but one that he studied and used for his own to gain knowledge of the Jedi. It's described that the pieces of Rey's father's lightsaber used to put the Skywalker saber back into one piece involved some ancient technology and strategies used for utilizing a saber hilt. Additionally, it's explained that not only did she use some of her father's lightsaber parts to build Luke and Anakin's saber back into one piece, but it's also said and described that toward the end of the film, it's explained that Rey is said to combine Luke and Leia's lightsaber into one hilt design that is described to ignite a yellow blade. Now, it's said that J.J. Abrams wanted to introduce at least one self-constructed lightsaber for Rey, using the parts of Luke and, of course, Leia's lightsaber, where it's implied that this is a combination of Luke's green one and Leia's blue one that will be a part in the upcoming film. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why I find this to be very interesting and at the same exact time very strange. Now, we do know that Rey's father is going to be a central piece to this story. We're going to learn a lot more about him, his past, who he really was, and exactly how that's going to be explained in this movie is going to be a big deal to the audience by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, with that being said, in between the events of Episodes 8 and 9, it's explained that not only did Rey use parts from the world of Batuu to complete the Skywalker saber design that we see in The Rise of Skywalker, but she also used old little pieces and components of an ancient lightsaber that dates back to the Old Republic era that was actually once in the hands of Rey's father that he studied for a very long time, that Rey came across inside of her father's home/hideout. Now, that to me sounds very cool because you have parts of the Old Republic lightsaber embedded within the Skywalker saber now. And to be honest, I think that this is yet another great nod by Disney and Lucasfilm that the new Star Wars trilogy is indeed heading in that direction for the Old Republic/Knights of the Old Republic era. Now, the other piece that I do want to go over that I think a lot of fans are either going to either dislike this or really just enjoy this to the max is that it's said that at a certain point in time in this movie, Rey is going to combine the green lightsaber of Luke Skywalker's with Leia's blue lightsaber hilt, combining the pieces together into a new type of lightsaber design that's all set and ready to ignite a yellow lightsaber blade at the very end of Episode 9. She won't fight with it, but she'll just ignite it. So it's going to be a little tease of Rey's new lightsaber, setting things up for the new expanded universe in the forms of comics, books, you name it, video games, etc., that's going to really explore the life of the characters that survive past Episode 9. So this really does open up a lot of questions, right? Because if she does indeed build a lightsaber of her own, that would definitely suggest that there's still a possibility of another war conflict in the future, perhaps, right? So with that being said, we can see that JJ is really trying to keep things somewhat ambiguous at the very end of episode 9, but also kind of giving us some closure to the Skywalker saga, right? Now, with that being said, JJ, he really wants to make this movie very nostalgic by also introducing new Star Wars lore. So you can see how he's bringing back Luke's green saber and he's introducing Leia's lightsaber, which once again is a Star Wars Legends callback. But at the same exact time, those two saber designs are said to contribute to Rey's new saber hilt in episode 9. The only problem that I think a lot of fans will have with that is, of course, that Rey is literally just using pieces of the Skywalker, family lightsaber hilts and using it for her own to develop her very own saber, as opposed to just using scraps and making it from, the ground up. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, then make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.